Welcome back to Tactics Talk with Guido. Thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate you guys tuning in and supporting the channel. I have a replay here from a new player, new to the channel anyway, Gunner317 from Hugs, and he sent this in via my YouTube channel and basically said, hey, check this out. It's my first ace in a higher tier game and in a popular tank, this being the IS-3 tier 8 Russian heavy tank, one of the best tanks in the game. And has been that way for quite a long time. It's actually stood the test of time pretty well. It hasn't been power creeped as much as some of the more original tanks, but it's always been very good, so that has helped it keep in good stead in the game. And he said he wanted to thank me for the content. He wouldn't be able to have a game like this if not for me and other probably better players to a large extent in the game. So he sent me this replay, I took a look at it, and I think there's some things we can all learn from this. So let's take a look at Gunner317 from the clan Hugs, loaded into Tundra, and off he goes, heading over to the west side of the map, which is a pretty typical spot for heavies to go. You can see that he's moving over, and this 1-2 line is the place that you're going to find guys fighting quite a bit. As soon as I get my cursor to work over here on the 1 line, and he's got quite a few guys going up here onto the hill. Now what you will notice is Gunner is a little bit alone over here. He has a WZ, a T25, and a Scorp kind of up in the corner, but there's really nobody up forward with him to kind of help him out. So he's going to do what's a fairly wise thing, and he's going to hang out right here, hold down. You cannot sit in this position with artillery in the game. That doesn't work, but there is no artillery in the game, so it's going to work. Additionally, we'll go ahead and pause it. You need to pay attention to stuff over here, maybe getting up on this ridge, potentially coming through there and getting shots on you. And he's got his first customer coming in, the IS-2, who has seen him. You can tell he does not have 6th sense, so that's something he's going to have to work around. And he is waiting for that guy to make a mistake. There he goes. That would be a mistake. And he takes a hit into the side and is punished for moving through there. ST1 is moving up. A couple people shoot at the ST1. Nice aim shot right into the lower plate and then moving back. Now you'll notice he's having a little bit of trouble with his gun depression. Right about there he actually has shots, but he really wants to be maybe a little higher. But once he gets higher, he gets up on a little ridge and he's unable to get his gun down. So if we take a look at where he is right here, see this little rise that he's having trouble with? Well, guess what? That rise doesn't really exist over here. So that's micro positioning within this position, perhaps a quick slide over to the right. That will expose him a little bit more, and it may expose him a little more to somebody over here. So it is a trade-off, but it's something to think about. If you're fighting the terrain like right there, you may want to just do a slight micro reposition within your position and come at it from a little bit better angle for you. And holy cow, there are a lot of tanks back here. Guess what? There's an LTTB in the middle that can see him. So that's part of that angle I was talking about that can be dangerous. And he is bouncing them like crazy. There goes the IS-2. And these guys are now just pushing into him. Alright, one thing I would say for you right here, Gunner, is think about dabbing the 2 key right now because you're facing an ST1 and a 100.01, and right about now you need shots to pen through them. So aiming for weak spots is good, but with 5 gold on board, there's really no reason to hold back on that right now. Also, since we are talking about it, I would not carry 5 HE rounds in this. 2 is going to be sufficient for what you might use HE rounds in an IS-3 for, and take those other 3 and either put them into gold or into your regular AP. So let's see how this continues to happen. That KV-3 was probably shootable, and that's a pretty typical new guy thing right there. You're thinking about the 100.01 and the ST1. It looked like you looked down a little bit, decided you probably didn't have a good shot, but you gave up shots on the AT7 and the KV-3. And since you knew you were going to have to do some little repo in here before you really got into the 100.1 and the ST1, go ahead and hit whatever you can with the loaded shell, right? So you're going to fire early and often. You probably gave up a shot or 2 messing around right there. We're going to see that happen a little bit more right here, and it's just something you'll get better at. I would definitely try to shoot this guy as he comes in. you're going to have a pretty decently easy time pinning him. And if you aim for that right there, that kind of, it's not flat, it's quite curved, but it's weaker right there on the other side of that mantlet, or potentially right in there into that guy's cupola. And it's even showing you a green right now, at least what you're looking at, but you might be able to pin that. I wouldn't shoot the hole, and he's quite angled, so really a shot on this guy's turret as he comes in on you was definitely in order right there. You may have shaved off another 390. So he's going to come across here, and he's really just pushing by you. And these are all good shots right here as well as he's coming in with his turret. Maybe get up into the cupola there, or as he then continues by, the angle of his turret's going to decrease as he goes by. Let's watch this. Holy cow, that is definitely a pinnable shot right there. Just go ahead and shoot right into that guy's turret. You just kind of let him go. And this was an interesting decision for me. I don't really agree with it. I probably would not have come up and over this hill. You were asking for multiple shots. You had guys over here who had shots on your side. There's now a T-25-2 here, and you're going kind of face to face, although he went by you with the 100.01. So maybe a shot into his turret as he went by, and then let him do whatever he's doing. I think what he thinks he's doing, he's going to come all the way around, and that's going to take him a while. You may actually have time to reload and either take a shot on this ST1 as he's pushing your WZ, or maybe even look for a shot on this KV3 as he pushes up, and then turn to deal with the 100.1. He's not going to turn around and come up over this hill very fast because he's kind of a slow tank. You're going to get away with it. You actually fix your track and get in on this 100.01 and do a nice job of circling this guy with his really slow turret, and I'm going to be quite honest, fairly lucky on quite a few bounces on this guy. The 100.1 has no idea that he needs to turn his hull and his turret at the same time to get around, and then you eat another shot from the 25-2. So I think you could have accomplished killing off that 100.01 without coming up and over. As it was, you get away with it with not too much damage to yourself, but it probably could have been better. And then holy cow, that ST1. So go ahead. I would have definitely investigated a shot on him much sooner than that. You saw him coming and you kind of drive up and over this. I would have stopped and aimed in on him much quicker, and you might have got that shot off before you ate the shot, because you gave up 450 hit points right there. So now you're getting down to a situation where you are becoming a one-shot, or close to a one-shot, not quite a one-shot, but close to it, at 531 damage, or 531 hit points. You really need to preserve your hit points. You got the 25-2 there, the DA's pushing in on those guys, and I think this is a pretty decent decision to get up and over and see if we can't get rid of this KV3 and then the AT7 back there behind him. Now those guys can cause you trouble. The AT7 can penetrate you. He backs up right there. And we've got the KV3, and then there's him. That's an interesting thing right there. It looked like a clear shot, but because of the way the model on the tank was, you actually end up hitting the model of the dead tank. It's hard to know without getting really down into the very nitty-gritty details of what the models are that you were going to do that, because it looked like you were getting a silhouette on the tank. It's just one of those things in this game you have to end up dealing with, and you're going to eat a shot from the AP on the AT7, and that puts you down close to a one-shot for a pen from the KV3 probably, and maybe 2 more shots to the AT7. You back up a little bit away from the model, and then you're able to whack that guy right through that top turret. And this is not a bad time for HE with the AT7, although you still want to take down this KV3. Alright, this is decision time. I talk about that a lot. You've done a decent job over here, really held off quite a few tanks, killed a few of them. You're up to 2 kills. You got 3,200 damage. A little bit lucky in cases, but the question with luck is what do you do with it, not necessarily that you had it. And you can see that there's a 100.01 on your side, 2 guys in front of you, and there's a Scorpion G back there. So the decision is, what do I do? Do I push in to the AT7 and KV3 and try to take them out with potentially this 100 SU-100 coming up and over and getting behind me, although he's kind of trying to deal with the T-71 right now? Or do I ignore them for a moment, turn around, and come after the 100 M1? So let's see what you end up doing here. See if I can actually get this game going again. There we go. Kind of looking at him. I think you missed a shot right there you could have taken. Take that shot right there. There you go. And so we take him down. Now, that whole time that you were kind of staring at this AT7, there was something very important going on your side over here with the 100.01. I think, had I been driving the tank, I probably would have tried to go after this 100.1, maybe save my T71. It would have taken a long time for these guys to push in, and oh, by the way, you have a Scorpion G up there who may have had shots on them if they push in. So now you're in a bit of a pickle because you got a KV-3 right in front of you. You've got the AT-7, which you just killed. Sorry, there's an AT-7 dead. And then the 100.1 behind you. And I think this is the right decision. Push in on him. He's got quite a long reload. More than likely you're going to get in here and take him down and then keep on trucking. Nope, we're going to stop and turn around. I may have gone around that corner to at least isolate myself a little bit from that Su-100. The good news is he decided not to push in on you. So had he just come up and over that hill, it would have been tough for you to survive. Probably he was worried about the Scorpion back there. And now we got an interesting situation. We got a E-75 over on the east. We got our KV-3. Our Tortoise is trolling around in the middle. There's a scout running around. He seems to be lit up over there, and he's a one-shot to basically everybody. So the real question for you is, where's that 100M and that 25? And what has happened to those two TDs that have been in the corner way down there in the southeast corner the entire game? LTTB goes down. That's good news for your team. A little bit of indecision, a lot of kind of rocking back and forth right there. Then we're going to go this way, then we're going to turn around. We're going to drive up on some terrain right here. Now this is where we're getting into camera technique. You're really, I can always tell a newer kind of player because they're always going to be kind of looking where they're going and not necessarily from where the threat is going to be coming from. I'd have my turret turned this way. I'd even be checking 6 a little bit. Maybe something moves, maybe a tree goes down, maybe I no kidding just see the guy back there. I would like to know which way the threat is coming from as soon as possible. And if I'm just looking where I'm driving, that may not be the right way to find the threat or the right direction to find the threat. Going back to what we're comfortable with, kind of hiding out in this hole right here. And guess what? There's one of them right there. We're kind of going right back to where we started. Looking for a shot. More than likely you were spotted, right? You don't have 6th sense, so it didn't go off. But you saw him, and I don't think there was anybody around other than you that could have spotted him. So you have to assume that you were spotted. You have to watch out in those situations that if you go somewhere and you start staring at the threat that you see, that somebody else may come up around behind you. Probably not in this case because the Scorpion G is over on your flank and should see if the 100M1's coming. Shoot, take that shot. Take that shot all day long. So he moves around there. He does kind of an interesting thing right here. He does kind of a reverse side scrape on this hill. Careful about just staring in one position. Holy cow, there he is. Take that shot. Unlucky. Goes into the rock, but I think you were right to take it. He definitely sees you. The E-75 and the KV-3 and the Tortoise are moving up down there. It's a strange case of actually not being in radio contact with the Taurus until right about there. Doesn't really happen much at higher tiers. And now we're chasing the the T-25/2. For a moment we were in sniper mode there. I'd be very careful about driving around in sniper mode. Zoom out like you're doing right there and work your SA outwards. Otherwise you're just staring down a soda straw. This is cleanup on aisle 2 time. Really, you wanted to probably be a little more aggressive earlier to just get in there and start getting some shots on guys. Might have got you some more damage. You're at 3,400. And we'll stop it here because you don't end up actually getting any more damage. The T-25-2 is about here when he dies, and you just barely come around the corner and somebody else has killed him by then. So maybe a little tentative right there at the end game, but a nice job overall. Good initial positioning. I like that you didn't push in and YOLO down the corridor there. You're faced with a lot of guys, and I think you did a really nice job holding them off and punishing them as they come. Probably a mistake coming up and over the ridge right there to take on the 100.01. Some missed shots all along through here as well. But like I said, 3,400 ace tanker and an IS-3 in a tier 9 game. Nice job overall on that, Gunner, and thanks for sending that in. I do appreciate it. I hope everybody learned a little something today. I hope you like what you saw, and if you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And as always, this is Guido with We Will See Ya.